Hello, hi, and welcome to the channel. I am Crunchy. Today we are going to be exploring NAUTIC XP, which will be out in November. It's been developed by SWE Systems, I believe, and it describes itself as a next-generation ship simulation focused on delivering a highly realistic maritime experience. We're going to be piloting a cargo vessel back into port, or as much as this demo will allow us. We're only allowed 20 minutes of free time. I'm doing this in the open world. So as you can see here, it's a lovely day in the North Sea. We've released the towing ropes, the docking ropes, and you can see there's very much a HUD which we'll need to get used to. I'm now switching on the battery and the AC generators, the engines, which you can see all those highlighted in green on the left side. We've got some realistic weather here for the time of day in this area. Forget where it is, forgive me. You can see on the right we have an autopilot system there which I won't use, and on the bottom right we have the things that are happening to the boat, like the throttle, the rudder, how much fuel, condition of the hull, any flooding and engine, and the draft in meters that the boat has. You can see here, if we click on this laptop, we get an idea of things going on with the load or the cargo in the ship. So we will get ready to leave this harbour. So I'm putting the position lights on now. Oh, we are now using the bow thrusters. So if you look on the bottom left underneath where it says anchor port, you'll see the bow thrusters. I've got the bow thrusters on, which will push the vessel sideways off the dock side. It is designed for enthusiasts, professionals and curious explorers alike. It combines authentic vessel behaviour, detailed nautical environments and a powerful layer of technical depth. Every ship in NAUTIC XP is built with an emphasis on real-world physics, accurate systems modelling and immersive handling characteristics. Not really going in the direction I planned. In fact, I better switch the engine off here. Looks like we might have to leave the harbour reverse-wise, which is what we're kind of doing. Also, you've got at the top there, because it's real world, you've got latitude and longitudinal measures there, and rotation, heading and all of that, which I won't go too much depth with. So we're turning round. As you can see, we've got two kind of rudder controls. I think if you're using the keyboard, that would be A and D and Q and D. Now some of these vessels don't have what we would regard as like a wooden board rudder. They have turbines in a circular protector thing, which the turbines themselves are turnable to alter the direction of the ship. We've got a sonar here which I've just switched on. We can change the range of the sonar and the depth warning. We've changed the warning depth to 2 meters and the range to 200 meters. So I'm just looking now for the buoys that we have to go through, rather than just cruising around willy-nilly everywhere. So as you may know or may not know, in Europe we tend to generally have the green marker buoys on our port side, the left, and the red marker buoys on our starboard side, on the right side of the boat. So here you see is a GPS, a simplified GPS system, which we can zoom into using the right mouse button. We can look around. Yeah, it looks really nice today, doesn't it? Sea is kind of calm. And this is a view from the stern of the boat. That's our crewman there. And we can also, you can see the smoke coming out of the back of the exhaust there. We can also go at the bow of the ship. Use the middle mouse button to zoom in and out slightly. And here is the helm. Shows our instruments, the radio. It also has communications. You won't hear me doing any communications in this. Here I am swinging it right around to go through the two marker buoys and the sea lanes. And in the distance you can make out a cargo vessel, a bulk carrier of some kind, waiting to be shown into port. At least that's the scenario I've kind of made up for myself in this little video. Here we are looking out the back. We can move around the boat with the cursor keys. It's not very smooth. I'm sure it would be better with a game controller, which this game does support. So there's the HUD back on. So just zoom in on the map a bit. So yeah, you see the sea lanes we have to go along. Now cargo vessel is obviously making its own way in, but we'll pretend it isn't. So we've got the throttles up to 60% there. You can see on the right side of the HUD. Rudders are at 0. We're travelling about 17 knots through the water here. Just adjusting the GPS, the simplified GPS system. And as I say, the views and the look of the game is really nice. It looks like most of the coastal areas are like wooded. There is a checklist where you can press N to get all the key button presses. That's all that does, but yeah, you can use that. The boat itself looks really well modelled, this little pilot vessel. Like clouds. I suppose when we get a little bit further out we can be full steam ahead. The speeds are controlled with the number keys along the top of the keyboard. Views F1 to F4 give the various views around the boat. And as you've seen, we've got systems for the vessel on the left there. Ones that are switched on are green, ones that are red are obviously off. So as you see, the weather isn't too stormy today. It's fairly placid. I wouldn't call it like a mill pond, but it's pretty quiet. You can see our big cargo vessel ahead there. Shouldn't take us too long to get there. So change the warning depth on the sonar to 4 meters, so it flashes when within 4 meters of the seabed, I guess, or any obstructions underneath the boat, which, as I say, is called the Dolphin. I've got the graphics on kind of high epic, I think. Its frame rates are okay-ish. As I say, the game is not finished. It won't be released until another month. But what you got so far is pretty good. And it's the detail and the realistic systems which I'm really interested in, as well as the good looks, of course. So 400 meters ahead, the depth sinks to less than 2 meters. Can you believe that this far out? So anyway, there's our vessel. We're going to kind of swing round soon. check it out. Here we go. Let's change the view slightly there. And here it is. Doesn't seem to have a name on its side just yet. So you can see it's a bulk carrier of some kind of, I don't know, petroleums, chemicals, something liquid, gas maybe, or some other kind of potentially dangerous liquid. It's fairly big. You can see some crew members there on the side. Slowing right down now to get a good look. We'll go through the marker buoys. So you can see it's making its own way there. Seems to be going about 4 or 5 knots, I'm guessing. Seems like it's registered in Monrovia. Let's swing the boat round again after having gone past this green buoy. I think I'm following the rules more or less realistically. As I say, I'm not a sailor, I'm just a landsman. I can see some great wake effects there off the boat in the sunshine. And you can see the vessel going through the sea lane there, the marker buoys on its way into the port. We'll get alongside for some nice views. Here's our captain. He's wearing his lovely white uniform there. We're now on the bow. There's our crew member. Here we go. It's really well modelled and fairly detailed. But we can't get it to go as we come alongside. You might hear some radio chat now, which I haven't initiated, but it's part of the game. I see how the light of the buoys reflecting off the hull of the ship there, which is a nice touch. Got some nice proper lighting. That's nice. She's a big ship. Here we are back on the stern with our crewmate. Nice view of the bow of the big container ship there, the big cargo ship. Nice. Doesn't seem to be making much of a wash on the bow of the ship to see. Maybe because it's too quiet today, or the speeds aren't great enough, I don't know. Maybe that needs modelling a bit more by the developers. But yeah, it looks nice. We've got a little bit of a reflective side of the hull there on the starboard side of the vessel. He looks a right salty dog, doesn't he, eh? So we're making our way into port. Allowing our vessel to follow us into the port. showing them the way so they can drop off their precious cargo. That looks lovely, that's very nice. So we've got to make sure we don't get too far ahead of him. Right, let's put the hood back on. Gonna go through the marker buoys, of course. Sticking to the sea lanes. There's some reflection of the boat in the water, which is nice. Shadows as well. Detailed. As I say, the graphics are on the highest, I believe. I'm not sure about the viewing distance, but anyway, this looks good to me. So I'm looking forward to getting to the missions. As I've done quite a few of the tutorials already, navigation and docking and some more extended things than that. Done a couple of the scenarios where you have to get a ferry ship out of port. This has quite a few realistic places in North Germany, like Peenemünde and around that area and across the bays there. So here we go, we're on our way to port. Here's the map. Oh, I'll click something down there. Barhoft. That must be where we're heading to, maybe. I don't know. Barhoft? Travelling down to the stern of the boat again. There's our German flag. Nice. Obviously a lot of it still needs tweaking and will be improved. I hope it does make that November sail date. Some pleasure craft out on the sea here, in the harbour. Maybe we should go give them a wave, eh? Come on, we'll go stand on the bow. Give them a wave. Very lovely. Well guys, I think we're coming to end of our time here on the demo of NAUTIC XP. Be sure to wishlist and get it in November if you're interested in that kind of thing. There's the website address, nauticxp.com. Thanks for joining me here with this little look at NAUTIC XP. Bye for now.